We'd like to begin our presentation by giving an introduction on Brazil and sharing a few demographics on the country. The population of Brazil is 207.7 million, making it the fifth largest population in the world. The official language of Brazil is Portuguese. The life expectancy is 74.68 years. The median age is 31.3 years, and the literacy rate is 92.6%.
In 1500, Pedro Alvares Cabral claimed the region for Portugal. In 1865, Brazil declares independence from Portugal. In 1888, slavery is abolished in Brazil. In 1889, the monarchy is overthrown and a federal government is formed. In 1937, Getúlio Vargas' dictatorship begins. The government took control over private economy and focused on industrialization and foreign influence. In 1964, the military killed Goulart and arrested 40,000 people, which included 80 members of Congress. The military had control over the government until 1985. In 2010, Dela Rosa was elected the first female president of Brazil. Brazil is a federal republic. The Constitution was adopted in 1988 from the previous 6 versions. The current president is Michel Temer. The National Congress, Senate, 81 members who serve 8-year terms. Chamber of Deputies, 513 deputies who serve a 4-year term.
The Brazilian economy ranks 51.3 on the Gini Index. With a nominal GDP of $2.8 trillion, the Brazilian economy ranks 8th worldwide, with a 1.1% annual growth and a $10,000 per capita income. Their main industries include textiles, shoes, chemicals, cement, lumber, motor vehicle parts, and other machinery and equipment. Their main exports include transport equipment, soybeans, and coffee.
Daily life and culture in Brazil is very diverse and fascinating, and Brazil has made tremendous progress over the last decade in terms of improving the quality of life of its citizens. So first, we're going to talk about gender roles. Men today are still seen as the primary providers of the family, and 40% of women have jobs outside of the home, with only 2% having an executive level position in a company. But primarily they are employed in lower skill, low paying jobs in textiles and electronics. And life for Afro-Brazilian women is particularly tough, as 70% are employed in lower level agriculture and factory jobs. When it comes to education, the Brazilian government does not heavily fund public schools, which gives more opportunity to the middle and higher classes as they send their children to private schools. And a fun fact is that girls often do better than males in school and are considered more literate. When it comes to the quality of life of Brazilians, they rated it a 6.6 out of 10, where the world average is actually a 6.5.
A large percentage of the Brazilian population is Roman Catholic for their religion. They believe in a much slower pace of life than Western cultures do, with kind of a que sera, sera attitude towards life. Because of this, their meal times are typically longer than 2 hours. They have influences from Spain and Africa in their music, and when it comes to greetings, they're physically expressive. Men will usually shake hands, and women kiss on cheeks.
All right, so what's your name, man?
My name is Breno.
All right, and you were born in Brazil?
Yeah.
Cool. How long did you live there?
For the first 16 years of my life.
How much is sociability and kind of the community feel involved in Brazilian culture and everyday life?
It is actually rude for you to have a conversation with a person and not be personable and be kind of warm,
Okay.
And I feel like in other cultures that may not be like that,
Definitely.
Yeah. So for sure, sociability and community are a huge thing in everyday life. You always say hi to your neighbors if you meet them. You always say hi to, I don't know, maybe the cashier of the store that you go every day,
Is there a big drinking culture in Brazil?
I would say so, yes.
When people are being sociable and hanging out with each other, would there be a lot of drinking?
Yes, so I would say there will be a lot of drinking, but the way we drink there is not really the way you guys drink here in the US. I feel like whenever I'm in a social environment and people are drinking, you guys kind of I feel like people like to drink more.
Yeah.
And
I believe that. More binge drinking.
Yeah. And it's I guess it's a kind of awkward example, but somebody blacks out, like the next day is kind of funny, like you speak about it, you know, like it's like, oh, you blacked out. But like in Brazil, if you do that, it's kind of cringy, you know. People are just gonna be like, you're an idiot, like you can't handle yourself, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So we were doing some research on Brazilian drinks, and we found cachaça, and that's what exactly is that? Could you explain it?
So cachaça is like, I guess, a special type of rum. They don't have that in Brazil. That is fermented with like some local ingredients. I myself not really a big fan, but like,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. And they said they use it in caplinas?
yeah.
Caplinas?
Caipirinhas are good when
Is that just a cocktail or?
kind of. It's like you put cachaça and then you put ice, sugar, and a certain amount of limes, and then you shake it, and it's just pretty good. You can also do it with vodka too.
Okay. Could you compare that to anything any drinks that are popular in the States, like maybe margaritas or?
Probably
Margaritas.
margaritas, yeah. But like with the cachaça, the flavor is just so different, and it's actually pretty good. So
Yeah.
like straight cachaça is like not really good, but like when you put like the whole caipirinha aspect of it,
Yep.
it's pretty good.
Okay. Do you think cachaça or caprinas would be popular in the U.S.?
Maybe, I don't
And
know.
maybe kind of why or why not? Is it too strong or
Maybe
too,
you guys
too
just
rich of a flavor?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just like it's not really easy to like buy it in, like
Yeah.
anywhere, you know.
It's not produced here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, for barriers and ridge points, we found that for the past several years, the United States and Brazil have had trouble exchanging business due to market access barriers. However, the United States government and the Brazilian government are actually working together to reduce non tariff barriers in trade facilitation, technical standards, regulation, and conformity assessment as of the year 2017. So the two countries have historically differing ways of conducting business and interacting socially, such as discussing business over lunch is kind of a standard in the US, but it's frowned upon in Brazil. For both countries, there's differing languages and slang terminology. And also having a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, usually symbolizes closing a deal in Brazilian business, and that can be kind of compared to playing golf in US business.
Is your native language Portuguese?
Yeah.
Would you mind saying something in Portuguese for us, just so we have it on the camera?
Sure.
Hang on a second.
A gente vai sair hoje e beber caipirinhas.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool.